Hello and welcome to Reaching for the Moon, presented by Everglades Moon Local Council, Florida chapter of Covenant of the Goddess. COG supports individual works by its covens, members, and local councils. It's a vibrant network of a myriad of Wiccan and witchy resources, religious support, friendships, service opportunities, and more. To find out more, visit our website, emlc.net, our Facebook page, facebook.com/EvergladesMoon, or Twitter, @EMLCTweets.
Hello everyone, this is Lady Bridget, and I'm so happy to bring you a bonus episode number 46 for August 2018. I know I'm getting it in right at the end of the month. I meant to bring it out sooner, but you know, even in South Florida, the summer is just so enticing. There's camping trips to go on and places to kayak, and you know, it's just a lot to do in the summer. So, sorry, that's where I was instead of being on the computer working on the podcast. But I did get it out before the end of the month, so kudos to me. Episode 46, here we go. We're going to start off with a song by Emerald Rose called Irish Heartbeat, and it's from their album Archives of Ages to Come. And then we're going to bring you a special workshop which was presented by Stephanie Woodfield at one of the prior years of Equinox in the Oaks. It was a really fun workshop. It's called the Cauldron of the Dagda. So there was a long meditation that happened at the end, which I did have to cut. It was very quiet. There was a lot of plane noises overhead. It was really hard to edit out, and it would have been incredibly annoying to listen to. So it didn't really need to be in there. The workshop stands alone without it. It's a very fun workshop in which we act out a couple of the myths of the Dagda. And even though you're not there to see it, it's not video, it's audio, but if you use your imagination, I think you'll have as much fun hearing it as we did doing it. And then we're going to wrap it up with another song from Emerald Rose called Whistler's Farewell. And remember, you can learn all about Emerald Rose and you can purchase their music at emeraldrose.com. Thank you for listening. I hope you're having a wonderful end of summer in the Northern Hemisphere. And for those of our listeners who are in the Southern Hemisphere, I hope you are having a wonderful end of winter. And blessed be. Enjoy.
Oh, won't you stay a while with your own ones? Don't ever stray so far from your own ones. This old world is so cold, don't care nothing for your soul. You share with your own one. Don't rush away, don't rush away from your own one. Just one more day with your own. This old world is so cold, don't care nothing for your soul. You share with your own one. There's a stranger and he's standing by your door. Might be your best friend, might be your brother, you may never know. I'm going back to my own ones, back to talk a while with my own ones. This old world is so cold, don't care nothing for your soul. You share old world is so cold. Don't care nothing for your soul. You share with your own ones.
So this workshop's going to be very low key. I think we're all tired at this point, but we're going to try to have some fun. And as you may see, there's a number of items around me. When I've done this before, I have foam swords and other cool props and things like that make it a little more comical, but not so easy to transport on a plane. So we're going to improvise.
TSA frowns on that for some reason.
But part of this is to have fun. So if we find inspiration in sticks as swords, maybe when the Dagda needs to go incognito, he becomes a squirrel. That's fine. It's to have fun. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Dagda, and then because he's a very powerful figure, but he knows how to laugh at himself, and unfortunately has made me do that, whether I wanted to or not, many times. Instead of just telling you about the myths, I'm going to kind of narrate them, and some of you volunteers are going to help act it out so we can get an idea of what happened. So, who has actually heard of the Dagda? Well, you don't count. You usually portray him in ritual.
I'm usually portraying the Dagda.
What comes to mind when you hear the Dagda?
The good god.
The good god, okay.
She's a strong figure.
That's very non-committal, but okay. Most of the time people know the Dagda as one of the Tuatha De Danann, one of the gods of Ireland, and usually they know him because of the Morrigan. Obviously she's become very popular as of late. And he does interact with the Morrigan, and she's considered one of his wives. They had a very loose idea of what a wife was for the gods. But most people don't know any of his own myths or who he really is. As far as the good god, that is actually what his name means. Dagda is the good god. But it's kind of deceiving, the name. When we think good god, we think, benevolent. He's, very kind and generous. It's not really the meaning here. It's more of he's good at everything. That kind of connotation. And you see that a lot with Lugh in Irish mythology. When he goes into the hall of the king, he says he's good at all of these things, and they let him in just because no other man in the hall can do all of this stuff at once. He's a very similar figure, but with Lugh, it's more of skills. He's a smith, he's a poet. It's specific stuff. With the Dagda, it's everything and anything. He is actually called a druid of the Tuatha. So he does have wisdom. A druid will also be someone who makes right decisions, and in a lot of his myths, he does make decisions for people or right judgments. In a bad situation, he will say, okay, well, this is messed up. Now you need to go fix it. And he is considered a poet as well. He had a magical harp, which we'll get acquainted with in a little bit. And he also held one of the great treasures of the Tuatha De Danann. They had 4 treasures: a sword, a spear, a stone, which is supposed to be the stone of fall that's on the hill of Tara in Ireland, which you touch it, it's supposed to scream out for the rightful king or the rightful ruler. And then there's the cauldron. And it's very interesting because we think of the cauldron as a female figure, the symbol of the womb, but it's always associated with the Dagda, so a male figure in Irish mythology. And the cauldron's power was that it was unending. Food would constantly come out of it if you turned it over. It was bounty. It would feed the tribe. It would give you whatever you needed the most, and it was never empty. So you could see that as prosperity, the womb of the earth, however you want to see it, but I find it very interesting that the Dagda, a male god, is holding the cauldron, a female symbol, in trust for the tribe and providing for the tribe. And in general, he is sometimes considered an agricultural deity. He does have the power to change the seasons. And he does own 2 magical pigs that have a very interesting ability. As soon as he eats one, it regenerates. So you can keep eating it, so, you can have as much bacon as you want. Irish and their magical pigs.
Pigs are magic.
Yeah.
You can eat everything but the oink.
So he has several titles. All-Atha is usually the most common one, which means all-father. It's not kind of all-father in the sense of Odin. It's more of, again, like with the Cauldron, he's providing for the people. More of a provider than necessarily the wise, fatherly figure that's looking over the tribe. My Irish is horrible, but you can find these online. Ruad Ronfessa, which is Great Red Lord of Knowledge. He's also called the Many-Skilled and the Horned Man. Horned Man may be related to his club. His club is a magical item, which we will be talking about in one of the myths. One end could bring people back to life, and the other end could kill 9 men in one blow. In the mythology, it's so big that it drags upon the ground, and there's actually a ditch in Ireland that's called the Track of the Dagda. That's supposed to be where he dragged his club. But it also is a phallic symbol. He's supposed to be very well hung, so it's prosperity as well as life and death. So you can see it as a physical club, or you can see it as that sort of symbology.
Can you say the great red god of knowledge? Mm-hmm. Red, R-E-D or R-E-A-D?
Red is in the color.
Okay.
There's another title of his that also has red in it, Red Horsefather. There's really no other myth really where he's connected to horses, but horses are a kingly symbol, and he was a king of the Tuatha De Danann for 70 years. They have several kings, and they leave for a number of reasons, but he did rule over the people, so it's probably more of the idea of kingship. Now, in general, when he's portrayed in modern paganism, they tend to make him look very oafish, because he does have some comedy in his mythology. So, when I went to get a statue for him, there really isn't a statue for the Dagda. I found one that made him look like a little troll, and I figured if I put this on my altar for the Dagda, like lightning is going to come out of the sky, something horrible is going to happen. I can't do this. So then, then I thought, I'll find a picture of him and I'll put it in a frame on the altar, because I've done that for other deities. I'm like, okay, that could work. And there's... The pictures aren't much better. And actually, Amber had a tarot deck that we were looking at the other day that has a picture of the Dagda. Now, read you a description of him. Now, granted, in a couple of stories, the monks who were writing down these tales do talk about him being a comical figure, that in one myth he eats all this porridge and his belly becomes as big as a house, and he's dragging himself around, and he's kind of like a drunk buffoon in just that one myth. There's a reason for it, and we'll act out that myth later, but he's also a warrior. He's also a king. He can laugh at himself and, go have fun and things like that, but in the end of all of that, he's the one who provides for the people. He still has the community and the tribe's well-being at heart. But there is one source in the Fitness of Names, I'll write down the Irish for you. I am not going to pronounce it correctly, but this book is entitled The Fitness of Names, and what it says about the Dagda is, he was a beautiful god of the heathens, for the Tuatha De Danann worshipped him, for he was an earth god to them, because of his greatness and his magical power. So, in the myths, he isn't this ugly buffoon or this little troll that I don't know who made that plaque, but that's how they usually portray him now. And then even in that deck, he is kind of, that's not the beautiful god of the Tuatha De Danann to me, or a warrior or a king. He just kind of looks like a sad old man who had a bit of a rough, younger years.
They do the same thing, like a lot of they'll see Dionysus like as this fat, drunken, idiot, but like, and it's not just in Fantasia. It's like a lot of like weird popular things. But you go back and you actually look at, they at least have statues and things. He's this beautiful, well cut, young man, virility and all of those things. Oh my.
Yeah, and that's actually not the worst picture of the Dagda that I have found, honestly. But that's the image, though, that a lot of modern pagans have of him, that he's this goofball, and that, he is some lumpy, grumpy old man.
Looks like someone's sorry uncle.
Yeah, exactly.
He looks
had way
trolly
too
in this
much
one
to
too,
drink.
trolly or dwarfy.
He
Like
does,
his,
right?
His
Yeah.
legs are too short, or
So, it's kind of hard for a lot of people to connect to him in that kind of sense.
Talk about
But-
not being photogenic.
Yeah.
it's not my card.
But I do find that he has a sense of humor. I did, actually at the Morgan retreat, we had an altar for him, and I had this beautiful invocation written out. I memorized it in Irish. I was so proud of myself. Like, I'm memorizing it at work. I'm like, oh, I got this. I get up to the altar, and I blank. Like, I had this down like 5 minutes ago, and then I'm just like, I have no idea what I'm going to say. And I could just feel him kind of saying, like, you know what, just, you're being too uptight right now. Just freaking laugh at yourself. Enjoy life. And to me, that's what the Dagda is. He likes to laugh at himself, and he can still be a king, but he can still have a good time. So, on to the myths. You're going to be the Dagda first because. I'm going to show people how to do this.
I've done this before.
Yeah, you have. The first myth we're going to talk about is the Dagda and his harp.
Oh, is this the interpretive dance move?
No, there's no. Well, you can in these myths. I'm going to just narrate what happens. You can add things. You could add your own commentary. You can find props over here. Whatever you want to do. It's just supposed to be fun. Because I don't have an actual harp. We have a harp app, so I figured it's creative. That work, Thank you, iTunes Store. So we have the Dagda, and I need one person who's one of the Dagda's fighting men or women, and then I'll need a bad guy, one of the from Moira.
I need a fighting man or woman.
Which one
Preferably
you want to be, a good
woman.
guy or a bad guy?
Fighting as in with us.
Whatever you want to fight with.
Sure.
I'll be happy to fight with that.
Okay.
Alongside, sir. Alongside.
Wait, that's not what we're brothers. We should be struggling together.
Yes.
All right, so I need one good person with the Dagda and the bad guy. And Dagda, you need your harp for
Oh, I
this
do,
one.
because
I'll
I'm
take
about
the club. Okay.
What is this? Oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
Does it play chords?
You can try to make it, sound poetic.
More of a Celtic church.
Oh, wow.
Well,
You
it's a
found
report
it.
at least. Okay.
Makes mine look so
Puny?
puny and
Yeah,
juicy.
but deadly. It's like Game of Thrones with needle.
Right, it's needle.
Wait, protect me.
Wait a minute. When did I become the bad guy?
Yeah, wait a minute.
She's the good guy.
All right,
Well, however you want to work it.
Wait. You're upstaging me.
Don't upstage the god.
Okay.
helping.
Now,
No.
What are you doing back there?
I'm not upstaging you.
Allow me to sing about it.
We should have seen that
Don't
from
ever
the
upstage
side.
the Dagda.
Now, the Dagda, the good god, had a magical harp, and it was called four-angled music because when he played, the seasons would turn and change. But the harp also had a couple other powers. There was 3 types of music it could play. It could play the music of sorrow and make people weep. It could play the music of joy and make everyone happy. Or it could also play the music of sleep, which made everyone fall asleep and dream. Now, there was one night where the Dagda and his merry men had a little bit too much to drink. And the Dagda and...
Broke the harp.
Oh, no, don't break the harp.
I was drunk. It wasn't my fault.
Okay, there you go.
Thank you.
The harp is returned.
I'm not as good at harping.
And so the Dagda and his merry men fell asleep. And the harp was next to the Dagda, and he thought, because, he's a badass here, no one's going to come steal my harp. But the Tuatha Dé were at war with the Femoira, and these gods wanted to take over Ireland and steal all the treasures of the Tuatha. And that harp, even though it could change the seasons and make people sleep or happy, it also had the power to turn the tides of battle. and when played in battle, the Tuatha would win. So the Fomorra snuck in, and as the Dagda and his men slept, they took the harp and went to their own fort with it. And they were quite excited and overjoyed, and they knew they were going to win. Yay! But when the Dagda woke up, the harp was gone. Where did it go? It's not in the bottle. So the Dagda and his men thought, okay, to battle, let's find the harp. They grabbed their weapons, and they found the camp of the Fomorra. And the Fomorra battled the Tuatha Dé. But unfortunately, the Fomorra were pretty good warriors, and the Dagda's men, some of them fell.
One of them fell.
Oh no! But when everything looked like it was the darkest, the Dagda, who was quite a powerful druid, called to his harp, and it flew off the wall and into his hands. But still, the Fomorra outnumbered him. So, being quite tricksy,
we're helping you. Go.
We're your troops.
Stephen has a resurrection spell. Working on it. I have to wait for her to get to that part.
the Dagda played his harp, and he played the music of sleep.
Oh, wait.
And although and the great warriors of the Fomorra felt very sleepy. And they fell down to the floor, and they went to sleep. And the Dagda's like, this is cool, I won. Because I'm the Dagda, and I'm good at everything. And although he's holding his...
And I'm awesome.
So humble, too.
Although he wasn't holding
That's
his
for
club
lesser
at this
beings.
moment, we're going to say that the Dagda used his magic club to bring his warriors back to life.
My magic club, not my penis.
River's gonna have his own version of this one.
No, he will. He's got his own magic club from what I've heard.
And the Dagda kept his harp. And the Fomorra never woke up.
Stayed
They got
dead.
to sleep and,
Well done.
forevermore. Yay!
The dog does something of a ham, too.
Yeah, just a little bit.
And if he wasn't, he is now.
He is now.
Oh, you can say that.
No. No,
After all that magic pig.
No, I can't. No.
Yeah. Well, yeah, magic ham.
Magic.
You eat it, it comes back to life. It's like
No
never-ending
kidding.
sausage or bacon.
Big sauce.
Don't even
There's
go
way too
there.
much material here.
Don't even go there with never-ending
This
sausage.
one up. Oh,
Too late.
you don't do this in front of the Egyptians,
Now, and everyone can add whatever they get out of this myth, because everyone's going to get different things. But one of the interpretations usually is that the 3 types of music represent that, we have to have sorrow first in life. And we can't appreciate that sorrow we can't appreciate joy until we've had that sorrow, which is the second type of music. And it's always in this order, the music that's played. It's always sorrow, then it's joy, and then it's sleep, in all the myths. And sleep, most people see as rebirth, regeneration. So you struggle through life, you find the joy within it, and then you start the cycle all over again. Anything else
You
anyone
go
could
through
talk
a
about?
bunch of shit, and just when it gets good, they knock you off.
Yeah, it's true.
Just like Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Don't
especially
get
if you're a
attached.
Stark.
Yeah.
Now, for the next one, It's the story of how the Dagda got his staff. It's always called a club, but in the actual story it is called the staff. So, who wants to be the Dagda? Do we need a new Dagda, or is Ed going to be Dagda
ham
again?
it up again.
I think it does real good as the ham.
Oh, I've done this a few times. Okay.
And then we need 3 siblings. It's 3 brothers in the story, but it can just be, it doesn't have to be male. And
Fresh pig. I mean, volunteer.
you volunteered, you did good. Now, the Dagda staff, which was quite large and all that, did not originally belong to the Dagda.
Which one of you's got it?
I'm gonna give it to them. There were 3 siblings, and their father was a very powerful wizard, or druid, however you want to look at it. And they inherited 3 items. One inherited a magic staff. That one end could kill 9 men in one blow, and the other could bring people back to life.
And then the other one had a stone, and the other one had the cloak of invisibility.
Actually, there is a cloak. There is a cloak, but it's shape-shifting.
I was already
It's not Harry
that.
Potter, but, maybe she got it from there.
Maybe.
Maybe. The other had a fabulous cloak. And
Cauldron.
whenever you threw it over your shoulders, you could change into any shape you wished. And the last one had a shirt, and yes, it's literally a shirt. I would have thought of something cooler, but it is like a tunic. But it's a magic tunic. And whoever wore it would never feel any illness and would always have good health and have no blemishes upon them.
I'll take it.
Now, the Dagda had many children, and they got into trouble just like him, unfortunately. One in particular might have slept with someone else's wife, and, there was some hard feelings and stuff happened, and he might have gotten killed because of it. But the Dagda loves his children, so he decides that he's going to take his son, and I don't have something to represent a baby, so maybe your child's a pine cone today. And he carried this corpse on his back because he didn't want to bury the child. And I don't know why the corpse doesn't decompose, but it doesn't in the story.
How old was this child? Sleeping with other people's wives. You said a baby.
Well, okay, well,
What the hell?
it's the child. The Dagda's baby. It could be an adult baby.
We're
You're always
Irish.
your mother's
We mature
baby.
early.
I don't care how old you are.
Okay, his adult son
Got it.
is laid upon
His adult son, the Dagda's baby.
But usually I do have a baby doll as what they're carrying.
It's
on
not a
their
baby.
back.
It can't be a baby.
So I don't have
Sleeping
like
with
a
people's
test dummy to
wives.
drag up.
Get a crash dummy.
Okay.
So he's carrying his son on his son's corpse on his back, and he wanders all through Ireland. He's very sad, and this is
Got a dead baby on my back.
It's not rotting.
and it's not rotting, so it's
Thank
no.
God.
And the
God.
Dagda comes upon these 3 people who've just inherited these magical items. And the Dagda asks them, what are these fine things you carry?
This is my magic staff. It can kill 9 people with one blow on the bottom and heal and bring back to life in the top.
That's sexy.
And the Dagda finds that very
You
interesting.
met my dead baby.
I was thinking that already.
Well, it's Ireland. We do things differently here.
And then he heard about the other fabulous
My
treasure.
magic cloak will transform me into anything I want.
Anything?
Pig.
He's my dead baby.
And this is my magic shirt. And when I wear it, the wearer, I feel no illness, no pain, no blemishes. I have perfect health forever.
Ooh, I like that.
Don't look, but don't touch.
Can I trade you a dead baby?
Not a chance.
Darn.
So the Dagda, he's a friendly god, so he probably, he sits down with these people, he shares hospitality,
Hospitality!
he offers them, some
Ah,
drinks.
yes, let's have lots of hospitality.
They're sitting around the campfire, they're enjoying themselves, and these 3 people don't have any idea that the Dagda's this tricky person, and maybe they shouldn't get drunk with him. But
This was no clue.
well, yeah, the dead son would kill us.
The dead sun on the back should kind of be a warning sign.
A little bit.
Like young Frankenstein. Wasn't that hump on the other side? What hump? Is there a dead baby on the other side?
What baby?
So, while they're drinking, they're talking, the Dagda's telling of his adventures in Ireland and how, fabulous the Tuatha are. And he, asks very nonchalantly to see this lovely staff.
So while we're talking, mind if I examine this? This is fascinating.
Of course you may.
Because I'm drunk.
But give it back.
I don't know any better.
Of course I will.
Yeah,
And
right.
the Dagda, whose plan all along was to resurrect his son, sweeps the killing end of the staff upon the three of them, and they fall upon the ground. And finally, he takes the dead baby off his back, and with the other side, he brings his son back to life.
Oh wait, wrong end.
Don't kill the dead baby
Well, I
again.
can resurrect it again.
So his son springs to life.
Ta-da!
And his son looks and is like, who are these three people that are on the ground?
I've
What-
just killed them and robbed them.
And the Dagda thinks it's fabulous. He's been very, sneaky. His son's back to life. He doesn't have to carry this dead person around on his
I
back
lied to them. I
anymore.
had a corpse on my back. I got them drunk, and I took their stuff, and I killed them.
He's got this
What
fabulous
guy?
staff.
Mm.
But his son points out that it is very rude of the Dagda to have brought his son back to life, and these three people who are responsible for his son being alive again should be dead. So he reminds his father that he should do the right thing. And the Dagda thinks about it. And he decides this is true. The Dagda is fair. So he takes the staff and he uses the other end and he brings the three siblings back to life. Now,
Now
they're
you
not
owe me
really
your
happy
life.
with the Dagda. Yeah. They're a little mad.
Hey, I got the killing end. I took you once. I could take you all again.
But the Dagda points out he has been fair and that the whole scheme was just to bring back his son that he loves very much, and that he has repaid them in bringing them back to life.
And you can give back the
And
staff.
hospitality. I gave you hospitality.
And he reminds them what a good god he is, and that if he gets to keep the staff, he not only is not going to kill them again, because that could happen.
Thank God.
Thank
That's
this
the
guy.
whole idea.
But he would promise to use it for good things.
Yes,
But
like
the
killing
three-
and resurrecting other people.
But the three siblings make him promise something. Because there's always a catch.
It's Ireland.
They tell him that he can only use the staff to kill his enemies, and not people who have shown him hospitality or friendship. And he can only bring back his friends and loved ones. No one else.
Okay. I can live with that.
There's a caveat.
There's always a caveat. It's Ireland.
It's Ireland.
Well, we may be drunk, but we ain't stupid.
Heard that one coming.
And although it's kind of unfair, the three decide that they'll share the other two treasures and that they're grand enough for them. And they charge the Dagda with this task. Cover the cake. They have enough magical stuff, but they hold the Dagda to his word. And being the good god, he is good to his word. And he uses the staff for glorious things for the Tuatha Day. And that is how the Dagda got his magical staff.
Aim that baby at me. You're right.
And brought back his dead baby.
You can't have a dead baby going around.
You really should have somebody volunteer to be his dead son so you can be on his back the whole entire time. That would be funny.
Oh, I can't deliver my lines.
So that's all I have. Do we have any questions or anything? I think we're a little over on time, actually. Any thoughts, comments?
Yeah, the bat looks like me in the morning before coffee.
You have to give it little pincers.
I hope you
Thank
got
you
something,
very
and I hope it was fun.
What
Thank
time is
you.
is closing right at 12?
Yeah.
Okay, because there's no one over there.
Start without us. They're waiting for us.
Okay, yes, we should probably head over.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Ed, thank you for your performance.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, the Dagda
Another
looks like
A.
you forever now.
Yeah.
Wait.
She's like, what does he look like? What's this? Oh, he's got Ed's face.
Hi, everyone. Before we begin our last segment of this episode, we'd like to thank you for listening. Putting a podcast together is a time-consuming labor of love, but knowing that someone is listening to our hard work and hopefully gaining something from it makes it worthwhile. Would you let us know you like the podcast by going to our website at emlc.net, click on the podcast tab, and write a comment. Tell us what you like and what you'd like to hear more of on our podcast. And even better, why not leave us a rating on iTunes? Ratings help us become more visible to more people. It's not about ego, it's all about service. Thank you, and blessed be.
All my whistles are in the cases, all my hair has turned to grey. All the crowd's not but empty spaces, it's time I was on my way. Another good night and I'll be leaving to another session, another show. It's a wonder I still believe in the turning of the road. And at the turning of the road, well, you never know what you'll see. I might play in a Keeley band, or it might be only me. I play the best I've ever played and lighten up their load. And I might just see my sweetheart at the turning of the road. Well, I've a whistle that wakes in weddings and far more Kayleys than I can recall. And I've slept in peculiar beddings and eaten pub food or none at all. And I've watched some dancing unabated, joined by sweethearts and family. Was it worth all that I've traded to be a minstrel and free? At the turning of the road, well, you never know what you'll see. I might play in a Keeley band, or it might be only me. I play the best I've ever played and lighten up their load. And I might just see my sweetheart at the turning of the road. Was a weaver, but the road called me to play. When I was whistling, she caught a fever. When she died, I was away. And as the darkness comes to find me, from my whistles I resign. I hear singing soft and kindly, feel a warm hand's rest in mine. And at the turning of the road, well, you never know what you'll see. I might play in a Keeley band, or it might be only me. I play the best I've ever played and lighten up their load. And I might just see my sweetheart at the turning of the road. At the turning of the I might play in a Kaylee band, or it might be only me. I play the best I've ever played and lighten up their load. And I might just see my sweetheart at the turning of the road.